Hi, this is a Trolling Legends video, and I am TL Gooby here, making my very first video with the Trolling Legends. This is a League of Legends video for beginners, basically giving you all the resources you possibly can ever get to do your best at League, become the best champion you can, and to just win games. So let's get started. I have much more to go over later in the video, a lot of real gameplay, but first, before we even hit the Summoner's Rift, let's check out a few websites here. I have this website called Mobafire.com. You may have heard of it. Basically, there's a lot of stuff to this website, but I use it mainly for looking up builds, the best runes, summoner spells, masteries, and item builds to use for champions. If you look right here, there is a free champions this week. All the champions are listed here, as well as an all champs button. You can easily, for instance, say you want to check out Blitzcrank this week since he's free. You know, who doesn't want to play Blitzcrank, honestly? Click on Blitzcrank. You can go in here. Here's all the top guides for him. If you look down the right side here, you can see that they're, got percentages. And they're voted upon by many Mobafire, people or whatever. So this one's at 91%. It's a pretty good rating. If you read it, it says it's a support AD AP jungle guide, which is like all of the roles he could play. So there's a very in-depth table of contents here, if you notice. So I mean, there's a lot of reading here if you're really serious about playing Blitzcrank to its full potential. But mainly, what I use this for is summoner spells, runes, purchase orders like item builds, and the masteries, and also what abilities you want to rank up in what order, and like what's priority. It's very helpful. I'm here almost every single day, looking, studying, trying different builds, trying different roles for different champs. It's just an overall great resource for League of Legends overall, especially if you're new to the game. It's like bread and butter, honestly. If you click the Mobafire icon up top, it'll bring you back home, and there's this All Champs button. I go here a lot. They're in alphabetical order. All of the champs are here, and this site's very good about putting up new champions. As you can see here, there's this new champion called Thresh. Apparently, I don't even know a single thing about him, and they already have info about him. Apparently, he's going to be a 6300. Blah blah blah. So. Yeah, you can see that they're outlined in green if they're free, and if they're newer champions, they're outlined in yellow. But yeah, you can find out everything you need to know about every champion off this website. It's extremely helpful. There's another website. It's called lolcounter.com. This is a great website if you want to try to counter a champion. Basically, if you're playing a lot of ranked or whatnot, I know this is a guide for beginners, but if you do happen to play ranked, then you can, if early in the selection champion list, you see, oh, they picked Akali. Oh crap, Akali's kind of a monster. So what on earth can I counter Akali with? So what you want to do is go up to the search bar, type in Akali, search for her, and as you can see, these are all voted upon by summoners like you. So, it has a certain amount of legitimacy to them, but for the most part, these are usually correct. So it says Akali is weak against Lee Sin, Mordekaiser, Darius, Diana Garen, and so on. So, for an AP mid, if you're a good Mordekaiser, then, go Mordekaiser and try to, counter Akali or Diana. Diana's very bursty, so. Also, it shows items that counter this champion. Kind of shows the mechanics of Akali and also cooldown timers. So it kind of gives you an insight of, what kind of champion they are, what items can counter them, and also their cooldown timers. That way you can try to anticipate their every move. Also, you can vote on these. You can vote on these if you hit these plus and minus signs if you, feel that something is correct or not correct. As well as weak against versus strong against. So, Teemo's apparently strong against Akali. I can see that. Ahri, Katarina. So, kind of gives you, both sides of the fence here to see, what's weak and strong against Akali. And this is the same for every single champion, so you can search anything you want. There's also a list tab, also in alphabetical order. here real quick, you can go down and quickly view like who counters Ahri, some counter items for her, or like, you know, her counter mechanics. You know, she's fast, bursty, high health targets. You know, she has some crowd control, and magic resist will help counter her or whatever. So this is a very good, you know, list to look and check out other champions all at one time. You know, mostly I just search on the fly, you know, because I'm doing ranked. So you know, LOL Counter is a great site as well as Mobify. These are two really nice sites to help you become the best summoner, you know, possible, and to, you know, outplay your opponent. So without further ado, let's head on to some actual gameplay and show you some tricks and tips and pointers on how to become the best summoner you possibly can be. Alright, I'm going to explain to you guys what the meta is of the game. You may have heard people say, you know, play the meta, you know. The meta is basically the best way the game is supposed to be played at the current time. Usually it's a top melee attack damage bruiser, an ability power mid, you know, an attack damage carry bot, as well as a support champion, and then you have a jungle. That is the best way the game is played. It's known as the meta, just so everyone knows. It's some good common knowledge to know. Also, there's a little mini map to show where the neutral buffs are. Getting into some more basic common knowledge about League. The blue buff spawns at a minute 55, and it respawns every 5 minutes. So when you go to leash blue, you want to leash, you know, throw your, you know, AoE down at 154 to help leash for the jungle person. Or if you're, you know, got the red buff, if, you know, a Lee Sin or someone else who's an energy champion, if they start off red, like Shaco or something, leash red for them, and it also spawns at 155 and respawns every 5 minutes. The wolves, they respawn every 60 seconds. If you end up being a big time jungler, then, you know, these are good things to know, so you can keep your farm up as well as, you know, gank in between respawn times of your you know, buffs. Rays spawn 10 seconds quicker than the wolves for whatever reason. Also good to know. I like the Rays for whatever reason. I like to farm them a lot better than anything else. Dragon spawns 2.5 minutes into the game and respawns every 6 minutes. You definitely want to keep tabs of Dragon and Baron. If, you know, you kill Dragon at 20 minutes into the game, you know, hey, 26 minutes in, it's going to respawn. We need to go get Dragon because it's a huge money boost for our team. Baron spawns 15 minutes into the game and respawns every 7 minutes. And just like the Dragon, you know, you want to be on top of your game. You know, hey, we just killed it at 25 minutes in. We need to come back and get it at 32 minutes in if, you know, if your team calls for it at the time. Going into some gameplay finally, guys. I know. Let's get all the boring stuff out of the way. This is how you properly leash. Most mids, I mid a lot. This is all these videos are me of midding pretty much, but you want to come down and sit in this bush because there are opponent teams that tend to invade sometimes, so you want to sit in that bush and guard your blue, make sure the buffs don't get stolen from your jungle. And then at 140 the wolves spawns, so you want to go help out jungle if they choose to do wolves. For whatever reason, some junglers choose to do wolves before the blue buff. So once 155 hits here, you can go ahead and, you know, throw down an AoE, a snare, you know, whoever you're playing at the time. Just help your jungler. It's called a leash, even though in Season 3, you know, it was no longer a real leash. But coming on to last hitting, this is super important. This is pretty much where you're going to live half the time, just getting creep score up. That's what CS stands for, by the way, is creep score. If you can notice that I'm waiting till the minions get these minions almost dead, and then I'm throwing my basic attack out and getting the kill. I think I missed one right here. Yeah, it got away from me. You know, it happens. But if you notice that when the minions shoot, there's little like purple orbs that light up on the minion, so it shows which one they're shooting at. Basically what you just want to do is just wait till the minion gets low and just last hit it. A turret creep kill is something I kind of came up with myself. It's around levels like 7 to 13 or so, like mid game. When a turret or when a creep comes under the turret, it'll shoot at it 2 times, once, twice, and it'll put the minion just low enough to grab that creep kill. So it's kind of useful to know. I just thought I'd throw this in here. Poking You basically poking and harassing is when you just catch your enemy off guard and throw your combo up there, you know, whatever champion it may be. You just want to damage them, harass them, make sure you set the lane presence for the match, and just make sure make sure you let them know that you're dangerous and that, you know, you're not to mess with, because you don't want them to take advantage of you. Poke countering. Basically, your opponent tries to poke you, and what you do is you counter them and actually poke them. As you can see, LeBlanc goes in for the poke. I kind of spell shield block that most of the damage, and I end up catching her with my snare and soil. So I end up half-lifing her, and as you can see, I'm not even hurt. So right here, I set up a nice kill with Morgana. And basically what you want to do is after you get the kill is you want to make sure you push your lane before you go back to base. Here I snare her, I end up popping my ult. She goes for the kill, misses. I'm pretty low, so I want to go back to base, so I soil, go back under my turret, and go B back to base. You just want to make sure you always keep your lane pushed. Calling MIAs, it stands for missing in action, obviously. Here LeBlanc gets a little ballsy. Gets hit by the turret, goes under 20%. That's why her Mimic got popped. Basically, you know, she goes back to base or whatever. So I type MIA, and that way everyone knows that, you know, hey, she's missing. I suspect she's going back to base because she's so low, but I constantly want to keep my teammates updated. You know, care, MIA mid. So, you know, constantly update your teammates, and if you see that, you know, they go straight top or go straight bottom, then, you know, ping, type, you know, incoming bot, so, you know, something like that along those lines. What you want to do is you want to, if possible, you want to gank to help your teammates out. You know, I see Darius is getting pushed over by Rumble at top pretty good, and they're pushed all the way to the turret, and my lane's pushed pretty well, so what I do is I soil real quick, keep my lane pushed as much as possible while I'm gone. I call MIA mid because LeBlanc's not back yet. I come up the top, I ping, you know, hey, Darius, I'm about to gank Rumble. Darius knows I'm coming. Rumble gets hit by a couple turret shots. Notice I wait until he comes out of the bush to actually snare and lock him up and ult. I end up picking up the kill. Hecarim comes out of jungle, and I size him up and anticipate his move. I anticipated him coming out of that bush, and I locked him up. I kept my Darius alive because he ended up running away. The stutter step melee is something I kind of came up with. Here Lux is gone, and Warwick ults on her. I end up doing my anti-champion combo perfectly, killing her. And as you can see, I click on Warwick, melee, click, a couple times, melee again. You constantly want to keep damage on the champion as much as possible, even while you're running. He was a little faster than me, so he got away. But here I come in, try to get Ashe, but my Seer misses and hits Soraka. So I end up ulting, doing a lot of damage. But that's the stutter step melee for you. You always want to size your opponent up and take advantage of their vulnerabilities. Here, Lux goes in for the snare, misses. I know she has no cooldowns. I end up missing my stun, but I lock her up with the Pillar of Flame anyway, doing massive damage. Going back to creep farming. That's all I do. Farm, creep, push, poke, yeah. And Lux pops a health potion, but, you know, she gets ballsy again for whatever reason. I'm like full health with plenty of mana. And she, I hear her snare, so I flash, jump on her, do my anti-champion combo, ult and ignite. Kind of a little overkill, but I end up picking up the kill there. You always want to keep an eye on your opponents. Here, you definitely want to size up your opponent. Here, Varus, I can tell he's going to try to stay under the turret and try to get me, so I snare him up. Zyra puts out massive damage. Caught him with the snare and the Q. Nothing he could do about it. You always want to catch your opponent off guard as much as possible. Here, I'm sitting in the bush. I'm waiting for them to push. I'm kind of low on health. I was kind of just waiting on the health to respawn, by the way, too. So I lock Varus up here. Big damage. Turret hits him. I know Darius is going to go for me. I ult, lock him up, you know, do my combo. And Rengar ends up picking up the double kill. You always want to know when to use your abilities. Here I see Zed going in the bush, and I could just throw all my moves, but I didn't know, you know, exactly where he was until he came out of the bush. So notice I wait, use my patience, lock him up with my combo after he comes out of the bush, get the kill, you know, walk away. Here I see their team about to lock up top. Throw my combo, lock them all up, do massive AoE damage, and I'm just trying to secure my turret as much as possible and stall until my team gets there. I end up picking up Varus, walking volley under the turret, barely gets away. His passive might even been healing him, I'm not sure. Here Shen goes in, kills Darius. I lock Volibear up with the snare, end up picking up the double kill. Constantly want to stall, make sure you maintain those points. I'm not going to go over Dominion right now. That's probably a future video, but patience is a huge part of League. Definitely want to keep your patience here. You notice I don't throw all my moves yet, even though Darius is right there. I want to wait until I get the right opportunity. I see Varus is getting a little ballsy. He tried to snare me up. He's pretty low. But I see him pushing with his team, so I throw all my moves, lock him up, get the kill with my root. And I see that LeBlanc snare went off a volley, so I pop my ult. Great opportunity. Great way to keep my patience. And again, LeBlanc gets him with her snare, so I throw my snare just in time to get the kill. That's all I have for today. I hope you guys learned a lot from this guide. Please subscribe, rate, comment, you know, send us messages. Constantly just keep in contact with us. If you have any video requests, please, you know, let me know. I'd be glad to make a video upon your request. I will be doing mainly League of Legends videos, so please get in contact with TL Gooby. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, guys.